I'm Aaron Dickens, and straight ahead on WVU News, should students be allowed to carry a gun on campus? There is a new bill with an answer. That story coming up.
Country roads take some alumni home, but what about those who stay? I'm Sydney Wentz, and coming up on WVU News, I'll tell you how alumni-founded businesses like this one are helping the local economy.
With a near $500,000 grant, WVU researchers are looking for new ways to make STEM more inclusive. I'm Laura Bonatesta, and I'll bring you that story straight ahead. Our Emmy Award-winning WVU News starts now.
There were more than 300 school shootings in 2022, the most ever. And now, West Virginia lawmakers are considering a bill to allow guns on college campuses. I'm Catherine Brook.
And I'm Maggie Oliverio. More than 65% of people working in STEM fields are men, but WVU is working to change that.
These stories and more coming up on WVU News, an Emmy Award-winning newscast produced by television journalism students right here at West Virginia University. This year, there have been 6 school shootings in the United States.
And a bill to allow guns on campus is dividing WVU students. Our legislative reporter, Aaron Dickens, has more for us. Aaron?
Thanks, Maggie and Catherine. So far, the campus carry bill was passed by the West Virginia Senate and now is being considered by the House. West Virginia lawmakers have introduced a campus carry bill every year since 2017, but this session, the change to state law is moving more quickly than in years past. The West Virginia Senate passed the Campus Self-Defense Act on January 24th. The bill essentially lets individuals who have a concealed carry license to carry a gun on campus, but there are a few exceptions.
Large events, in a faculty member's office, during a disciplinary procedure, during mental health counseling, all these kinds of things are exceptions to be able to attempt to make our campus safer.
Most West Virginia senators gave the green light for the bill, but a few gave extreme disapproval, and one of them was Senator Mike Caputo.
I will tell you this, I'm deeply concerned. I think that there is a huge potential for bad consequences to come out of this. And I hope and pray I'm wrong. I mean, I don't want to come back a year from now and say, man, I told you guys this was going to happen. I don't want to say that.
But here's the big question. How are students feeling about the bill, knowing that a university of 30,000 students had the potential to carry a gun?
Ultimately, I think it would just allow for more safety, allow for students to walk around the campus and feel safe any time of day, really.
I think everyone, including students, should have the right to defend themselves and truthfully defend other students in certain situations.
But students are quite divided, with some feeling one way and others feeling another way.
With all the mental health issues we have going on campus and other factors, I think it will increase the level of danger on campus. I don't think necessarily having more guns on campus is going to make people feel safer.
I can't say that it'll make me leave the great education that we have here, but I will be extremely hesitant, I'll be scared, and it'll heighten my anxiety.
If the Campus Self-Defense Act becomes the law of the state, people can expect it to be put into practice in July of 2024. If the House of Delegates passes the bill, West Virginia will join 23 other states that allow guns on college campuses. Maggie, Catherine, back to you.
Thanks, Aaron. University officials have made a big announcement about a $500,000 grant that will increase diversity in STEM fields.
Our Data Viz reporter Laura Bonatesta joins us now from Studio B at the Media Innovation Center to tell us more. Laura?
Maggie, Catherine, national data shows a third of minority students leave STEM programs before receiving a degree. Recently, though, WVU has joined a nationwide plan to make STEM more inclusive and received a $475,000 grant to help with this mission. From a young age, Sonia Defon knew her future was in STEM. After growing up in a medically underserved area, she saw firsthand the value medicine could bring to her community.
I could see my doctors and see how hard they work to restore my health and take care of me and take care of my family, it was very inspiring to, want to follow in their footsteps.
Now, she is a biomedical engineering major at WVU and has found community in student organizations like the National Society of Black Engineers.
As I came here, I had the opportunity to do everything that I wanted to do and work towards my career goals. And I strongly believe that WVU has given me the opportunity to do that.
And the opportunities for STEM majors are endless, with some of the highest starting salaries in any field, with salaries going up to 6 figures. Graduates of these programs can work as biomedical engineers, web developers, or even lab technicians who work in environments like this. But for some minorities and first-generation students, there are barriers to pursuing a degree in STEM.
Most often, I was the only Black woman or the only person of color in a classroom or working on a group project.
That's why WVU has joined a national initiative to make STEM more inclusive.
It's not that we need to fix the students. The students are fine, but the system doesn't serve all students equally or all students well.
The grant-funded research will seek to break down barriers and explore factors that impact student success.
I hope that my journey paves the way for people that come after me, realizing that, oh, she did it, I can definitely do it as well.
Stewart's team's research has already begun to show promise. And over the next 6 years, they plan to center voices like Defon's in hopes of learning how to better meet the needs of communities like hers. Here's an interesting fact. 40% of Black students switch out of STEM majors before earning their degree. And the average income for minorities working in STEM fields was more than $70,000 last year. Maggie, Catherine, back to you at the Waterfront Studio.
Thanks, Laura. 20% of small businesses fail in their first year, Catherine, but there's a service at WVU that's helping students be entrepreneurs.
Reporter Sydney Wentz brings us the story of one WVU graduate who not only is exceeding at running her own business, she's thriving.
For many WVU students, Morgantown is a stop on their educational journey. But for Hannah Zulai, she made Morgantown a home, not just for herself, but for her business as well.
I went to school here, graduated here, and realized that there was a serious lack of women's clothing in this town. And I figured it might as well be me to start the trend.
Azulai graduated from WVU in 2021 and saw an opportunity for a boutique clothing store in the area. And Heartbreak Avenue Boutique in Star City was born. According to information provided by the Encova Institute, 400 WVU students have started businesses since 2012. Of those businesses, 23.5% have made their home right here in Morgantown. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reported that 54% of out-of-state college students return home following graduation. But Carrie White, executive director of the WVU Launch Lab, says those who choose to stay can make a big impact on the local economy.
I know when students come into the Launch Lab and they're interested in starting businesses, a lot of them do want to stay here in Morgantown.
According to Forbes, only half of small businesses will survive past 5 years. But Azulai says she has no doubt that Heartbreak Avenue will continue to serve Morgantown for years to come.
Yeah, definitely looking at my own storefront one day. This is a stepping stone to having my own storefront, but right now I love doing collab with Star City Nutrition.
Heartbreak Avenue is located inside of Star City Nutrition on University Avenue. Sydney Wentz, WVU News, Star City.
3 in 10 U.S. adults have been on a dating app, Maggie.
And with Valentine's Day just behind us, I can only imagine how many people were looking for love online.
Some of them may have actually found it. Kaylee Riccatelli joins us from Social Square. Kaylee?
Thanks, Catherine. Maggie? Between March and May of 2020, dating app OkCupid saw a 700% increase in dates, while Bumble had a 70% increase in video calls. Online dating has become the new normal, especially for one student who met her sweetheart in cyberspace.
Turning to digital media for all things love has been on the rise since the pandemic. In fact, 31% of millennials were using online dating apps like Tinder, Bumble, and Hinge in April of 2020. McKenna Lysifer met her boyfriend Kyle on Tinder in May of 2020.
So when I matched with Kyle, it kind of fell into place, like the pieces fell into place. It was really natural. It wasn't like a forced, like, hey, do you want to talk? And like, do you want to, you know, try and do something? It was just, we talked for hours and hours and hours every day until we met in the end of June.
And McKenna is not the only one who has searched for forever online. 49% of users say they use dating apps to find an exclusive partner.
Now that pandemic restrictions are being lifted, will the popularity of online dating plummet? Experts say no.
Over 323 million people worldwide are looking for love online. However, WVU sociology professor Daniel Brewster says users on dating apps need to be aware of the pitfalls.
I mean, I think it's important to note that like a lot of these apps do foster some of the worst in society. It creates ableism. It creates a lot of like, you know, potentially dangerous effects.
And experts say with 1,500 online dating services, it's important for users to spot the red flags. The three most common are asking for money, saying I love you within days, and refusing to send pictures.
It is a fun risk to take because, I mean, I'm sitting here almost out of school, potentially going to be moving with him in a couple months and starting our chapter.
And this story has a happy ending for McKenna and Kyle, who are thinking of getting engaged in the future, like 13% of all couples who met online.
Whether or not their online experience ends with a ring, 57% of American adults say they've had a positive experience on dating apps. Catherine, Maggie, back to you.
The Morgantown Municipal Ice Arena is getting a makeover in 2023.
That's right, Maggie. Sports reporter Sean Loudermilk is here to tell us more. Sean?
Thanks, Catherine. Maggie. The rink was built in the 1970s and could definitely use some work, but there is rising concern in Morgantown about just how long its doors will be closed. The arena is home to 4 WVU hockey teams, including the Divisions 1, 2, 3, and women's teams. The renovations are estimated to cost between $10 and $11 million, but these plans almost left WVU hockey without ice to skate on for next season. Andrew Nagowski reports.
In December, Bow Park announced that the Morgantown Ice Arena will close its doors at the end of March for renovations and will not reopen until August 2024. This announcement caught WVU hockey general manager Todd Gukin off guard. The announcement means that the organization may not have a place to call home next season.
We were not informed because 2 days prior we were on a Zoom call and we would have some place to play. And then they released a news article saying otherwise, and that all the user groups were informed, which we weren't. So I was getting texts, emails, phone calls while I was not even in town.
However, due to pushback from the hockey community in Morgantown, Bow Park decided to change the renovation plans.
Instead of closing the rink for the whole year, Bow Park announced in January that the project would be broken up into 2 phases and will reopen for a shortened season on October 1st. This means that all 4 WVU hockey teams, like the men's D2 team that you see behind me, will be staying in Morgantown next season.
For players like freshman forward and Morgantown native Adante Shepard, he was ecstatic to hear that the rink he grew up playing in will not be shutting down and thinks the new renovations will help bring in new recruits to the program.
It would be great for kids thinking about going to college at WVU, and if they play hockey, maybe joining our program.
With the club's future in Morgantown no longer in doubt, Shepard and the rest of WVU hockey look to finish the season strong as playoffs are right around the corner. Andrew Nagowski, WVU Sports, Morgantown.
WVU offers one of only 176 men's and 123 women's hockey programs in the country. Maggie, Catherine, back to you.
Thanks, Sean. Well, that's it for this week's edition of WVU News. I'm Catherine Brook.
And I'm Maggie Oliverio. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.